Morning everyone and welcome to today's Quick Learn webinar. My name's Sarah, I'm new to the team. I'm really excited to be hosting my very first webinar with you today. Whilst I'm new to this role, I have worked at Sage for over 4 years on technical support. I'm going to be joined today behind the scenes by my colleague Duncan, who'll be keeping an eye out on the Q&A panel throughout the session. So if you do have any questions as we go along, feel free to pop them in there. Today we're going to be focusing on report selections in Sage 50 Payroll. So the key feature can really streamline your payroll processes. It's going to be a quick learn webinar, so it's designed to be short and focused. So it's going to run for a maximum of 30 minutes today. Let's take a little look at what we'll be covering. So we're going to have a quick look at report favourites first. So just the different type of reports you get in 50 Payroll, pre, post and historical reports, how to favourite them and some of our recommended reports as well. Then we'll dive into report selections. We'll do a bit of a demo on that. So what is a report selection, how to create one and export one. We'll then take a look at a couple more bits of further support. So some tools to help you find reports that are going to be best for your business. So our report finder tool, advanced report library, and further support as well. So we've got some upcoming webinars, the Help Centre in Sage Uni to cover. So to get started, we'll take a little look at report favourites. So there's 3 kinds of reports that you can get in Sage 50 Payroll. You've got your pre-update reports. So your pre-update reports are going to provide you any information about your current pay run. So those are things like your pay slips, your payment summary reports, things to help you check your pay run before you go ahead and get your records updated. You've then got your post-update reports. So those are going to provide you information about any of your pay periods that you have actually already updated. So you've got your period end reports in here, like your P32. You've got some year-end reports. So your year-end reports will be process date sensitive. And then you've got some legislative and company information reports in there as well. Now, lastly, I do want to just touch on historical reports. I will say with these ones, you can't actually create a report selection for these ones. There's still some great reports in there, so they're always worth looking at, but you can't actually create a report selection for these ones. So these are just for all of your updated pay periods in 50 Payroll. So unlike the year-end reports in your post-update reports, you don't have to change your processing date for these ones. You just pop the criteria in before you actually run them. So just to take a little look at those on a deeper level. So your pre-update reports, you can get those after your enter payments and your pension assessment and your payroll tasks. So you'd click into your pre-update reports. You can see we've got a few reports already favorited over on the right-hand side. So some of our recommended reports to run at this stage of your payroll process would be your payment summary part 1, your part 2, any pay slips, and your update record check report. These are all going to help you kind of check all your figures before you go ahead and get those figures locked in. Now you've got your post-update reports. So like I said earlier, this is for anything that has actually already been updated and locked in the system. You can get those by going to your reports above your employee list. So just in between your criteria and your help button. Now, some recommended reports for these ones, you've got your payment summary history part 1 and 2 by date. So you can run these for just the month that you're in. You can put an extended date range in there. And of course, your P32, which is going to tell you exactly what you want to pay HMRC at the end of the month. Now, lastly, you've got your historical reports. Now, like I mentioned earlier, you can't actually create a selection for these ones, but they are definitely worth taking a little look at. So you can get them a couple different ways in Payroll. You can either go into the links section when you have got your payroll selected in the bottom left, and you've got the option to print historical reports. or you can also find it in the company section under historical data. Now, with these ones, it will ask you to pop in a criteria before you run them, but once you do, you can then go and select the report that you want to run. So you can see there's a few different ones in there. You've got some historical pay slips in there. You've got some nominal link history reports as well. So definitely worth taking a little look at, although you can't make a selection for those ones. So let's get into report selections. Now, what are report selections? They're going to be a batch report that allows you to run multiple reports in one click of a button. So if you have reports that you run every week, every month, then you can kind of combine all of those together. You can print them, you can export them, save them as one, or you can save them as separate reports. You do have a bit of flexibility as to how you save them. We'll run through that a bit more in the demo as well. Now, to get your report selections, you would just go into your pre-update reports or into your post-update reports, and you can find them just at the bottom left underneath all of your different report folders. So you can see on here, it's just underneath your user-defined local, right at the bottom. So what I'm going to do now, I'll just jump into Payroll and we'll have a look at a couple of demos on the report selections, how to create them, how to run them as well. So I've already updated my August payroll. So what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to double check my processing date. So 25th of September. Now I've already entered my payments. I've done my pension assessment. I'm ready to take a little look at my pre-update reports now. So I've got all my employees highlighted. I'm going to go into my pre-update reports. And down the left-hand side, I'm going to go into my report selections. Now, I've already actually got a report selection created for my pre-update reports, but I just want to check that everything is in there that I need. To do that, I'm going to highlight the report selection. I'm going to go to Edit in the top left. Now, you can see I've got my pre-update payroll reports. Now, my selected reports, I've got my Part 1, my Part 2, my update records check report, but I actually do want a pay slip in there as well. Now, you can see the folders are exactly the same as your reports window. You can see they mimic all of the different folders. If I click on this little plus sign, you'll see I've got my 3 different kinds of payslip on there. Now, I use a laser payslip, so I'm going to click on laser. You can see that'll bring up your available reports in here. I'm going to select the one I want, hit on the add button, and that will move it over into the selected reports window. Now, if you did anything by mistake, so say I added 2 by mistake, you can always select the one that you've added by mistake, hit remove, and it'll move it back over into your available reports. Now, once you're happy with what's in your selected reports over on the right-hand side, you just want to hit on the Save button. Now, this window doesn't actually close down automatically once you save it. So once you have hit on Save, just remember to click Close as well, and that'll bring you back to your report selection screen. What I'm going to do now, I'm just going to preview this pre-update report selection, just so we can have a little look and see what it looks like. It'll pop up with any criteria values. I'm just going to leave that as all for now. Press OK, and you can see with this, you've got all your different reports, just different tabs along the top of your preview window. So I've got my laser payslip, got my payment summary Part 1, my Part 2, and my update records check report as well. Like I mentioned earlier, you do have a lot of flexibility as to how you want to print or save these reports. So if we have a quick look at the different options, you can see you can either print the report that you're on or print them all as a single job. That's the same with the email. and exporting as well. So if you prefer to save them individually still, you can always have that option there. What I'm going to do now, I'm just going to close down that preview. I'm going to pop my pre-update report selection into my favorites as well, just so it's easy for me to get to. And you can see that's popped it right at the bottom. You can always drag it further up if it's one that you're going to be using more regularly than the others. So I'm going to come out of my pre-update reports now. Now I haven't actually updated my records for September, but I want to now create a brand new report selection for my post-update reports to take a little look at August's pay period. So I'm going to go into my post-update reports, above my employee list. I'm going to go down the left-hand side to report selections. Now you can see now I've got nothing in here at all. So what I'm going to need to do, I'm going to need to go into the top left in new. I want to pop a name in there. So I'm just going to call it month-end reports and month-end reporting. And I'm going to add a couple of the favorite reports that we've seen earlier. So again, you can see down the left-hand side, it's going to mimic all of the folders in your normal reports window. So I'm going to go to employee because I want my payment summary history reports in there. So I'm going to look down the list of available reports. Now I want my payment summary history part 1 by date. So I'm going to highlight that and click add. I'm going to add my part 2 by date. Now I also want my P32 in here as well. Now, what I will say with this is, as you've probably noticed, there isn't actually a way to order your reports. They will just go in alphabetical order. So you can see when I've added form P32, instead of going to the bottom, it's went to the top. Once you're happy with your selected reports in here, again, you just want to hit on the save and then remember to hit on close as well. And that report selection will then pop up in your relevant folder. Now I'm going to preview these ones just with it being post-update reports. They are going to look a little bit different in terms of criteria. So if I hit on the preview button, any reports that you add in there that do require criteria to be entered, that's going to pop up at this point for you to choose. So I want to look at August's payroll. So I'm going to put the 6th of August to the 5th of September. And I want my P32 from tax month 5. Once you're happy with your criteria, hit on OK. And again, exactly like the pre-update reports, you're going to get your preview with your different tabs along the top. So you've got your P32, your payment summary history part 1, and your payment summary history part 2. Now, what I'm going to do now is I actually want to save these in my reporting folder. Don't want to save them separately. I just want to save them all together in one file. So I'm going to go to export and export all as a single document. I'm just going to save that as month-end reports. Hit on save. And what I'll do is I'll give you a little look at what that is going to look like once you open up that PDF. Now, as you can see, when I've opened the PDF, I've got my P32, my payment summary history part 1, and my part 2 all in one file together. Now, some of you might like to put things in Excel if you want to do further data analysis on your figures for the month. You can also do it into Excel. It will just look a little bit different. So I'll show you that now. I just come out of the preview. So instead of previewing this, if I was to do a report to Excel instead, you can see it does exactly the same thing with the criteria. Now I want to look at August, so I want to do the 6th of August to the 5th of September, and I want to do tax month 5. Hit on OK. Now, something to note is dependent on the amount of reports that you're going to put in the selection. Obviously, I've only got a few in there at the moment, but if you are going to be using quite a few different reports in there, it might take a little bit longer just to export it out, obviously as it's producing more reports. I'll just drag this across. Now you can see when I've put it into Excel, we've got something that is a bit similar to your preview window. So you've got different workbooks for the different reports that you've exported. So you've got your P32 in one workbook. You've got your payment summary history part 1. And you've got your payment summary history part 2 as well in there. So just in different workbooks along the bottom. But if you do want to analyze your data further, then that's going to be really handy. You're not just limited to exporting it or emailing it or printing it. You do have a lot of flexibility with that. I'll close that down for now. Just going to pull the slides back up. So just to do a little bit of a recap of what we've ran through today. To get your report selections, you would go into your pre-update or into your post-update reports. You want to hit on report selections down the left-hand side. Then to create a new selection, you're going to be hitting on that new button just in the top left. You then want to pop in your name and description for your report selection. And then after that, you're going down the left-hand side into your relevant folder, clicking on the available report, hitting the add button. Then once you're happy with the selected reports, you just want to make sure you're hitting on save and then closing that window down. So like I mentioned earlier, just to finish up, we do want to cover a couple of extra resources that will help you find new reports to use for your business or just additional reports to suit your needs. So firstly, we've got the report finder tool. Think of this as a bit of a Google for reports. There is a lot of reports in Sage 50 Payroll. So if you're just struggling to find the one that you need, you can use different search terms and different filters on this, and it will tell you exactly where the report is located in 50 Payroll as well. Or if it isn't a standard report in 50 Payroll, it might well be that it's something that you can download for free on the Advanced Report Library. So the Advanced Report Library is just a ton of extra free reports that you can download and put into Payroll to use for your business. There are a lot of departmental reports in here, a lot of cost centre reports as well. So if you do work with departments and cost centres, it's definitely worth taking a look at. The report finder is dead easy to get through your software. So what I'll do is I'll just give you a real quick demonstration on how to get to that through Payroll. So if you go to web links, just right up at the top, and you want to go down the list, you have the option to find a report here. That will bring you to the report finder. And if you go down to the report finder tool, this will then take you to the search engine. So if I wanted a departmental report, for example, you can see here it will come up with a load of different departmental reports I can use, a description of them, and the location as well. Now, if any of them aren't a standard report in 50 Payroll, it will link you to the advanced report library, which I mentioned earlier as well. And in here, you can see you have a whole load of pre-update and post-update reports that you can download. You can view the PDFs just to get a bit of an example of what the report looks like as well before you go ahead and download it and put it into the system. So those are just a couple of really, really handy tips to help you find the best report for your business going forward. Another thing I wanted to touch on, just a couple more webinars that we've got coming up. So we do actually have National Payroll Week coming up. So you do have the opportunity to win a badge for this. So you just want to attend 3 different sessions plus a quiz at the end. We do have it running the first 2 weeks of September. So we've got 5 different sessions. We've got Get Your Payroll Done. We've got a session about starters and leavers, one about sick pay and maternity pay, pensions and the pension module, and then finally the quiz to top it off at the end. If you download the handout, you'll be able to click on the link to register for those, or you can go to sage.co.uk/webinars and you can sign up there to get your digital badge. Another thing I wanted to touch on is the Help Centre. This is going to be a really great resource for anything payroll. You can access that through the software again. If you click on the little help icon just next to your reports, you can also hit on F1 on your keyboard, and that will give you contextual links to the Help Centre as well. You can get support guides on there for any processes you might need a bit of a hand with. You can get our recorded webinars on there, sign up for our future webinars, and there's a couple of instructional videos, but if you do need to get in touch with the support team, then that will direct you to the right place as well. Did also want to shout out Sage University. You can do anything from bite-sized learning on this to full certifications, and it's totally free to log in and set up an account. If you just go to sageu.com, create an account for free, have a bit of an explore, and you can do all the learning at your own pace. But definitely worth taking a look at if you haven't already. So that's it for the demo. We're going to stick around for the next couple of minutes or so just to see if there's any more questions coming through. I'll pop on a mute for now just to help Duncan out, and I'll see you shortly to wrap up the session. Hi again, everyone. Really hope you found today's session useful. We haven't had any more questions, so we'll be closing down the session in the next minute or so. As you exit, you're going to see a short survey. If you can take a moment to fill that out, that really would be amazing. Like I mentioned at the start of the webinar, it's actually been my first one in this role, so your feedback will be especially valuable this time around. I'd love to hear what you thought, what worked well, what could be improved, so we can keep making these sessions better for you. You're also going to receive a follow-up email later today. It's going to have a link to today's webinar recording on there and information on how to register for any future sessions. That includes the National Payroll Week that'll be going on the first 2 weeks in September as well. But thanks again from me and Duncan for joining us today. Hopefully we'll see you again soon. Bye for now.